anything material relating to the birth and circumcision of either one or both of the sons, but certainly the birth of the second son. And also God's angry because he's not circumcised or something like that, and he forced her to be circumcised, and they have an argument, he sends her away. Or something like that, because she'd been dismissed according to 18:3. He had sent her back, or dismissed her, or whatever. And so there must be more material that's been left out. And it looks like it was in that material here where we have this problem here. God wanting to kill somebody, and I'm sure he didn't want to kill Moses. But he's talking about killing the sons, the firstborn as it is in Egypt, maybe, but still I think there's the birth of another son there. See, one he called Gershom, 18:4, I was a stranger in a strange land, heard that. And the second one, Eliezer, because God has been my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. Eliezer means God helps. El and Ezra is to help. Aaron's going to have another son, Eleazar, Eleazer, which is almost the same as Eliezer in Hebrew. Aaron's going to have 4 sons, and so another quasi-overlap with Aaron in the name of the sons. Aaron and Moses have almost the exact, doesn't mean it couldn't be, but I'm saying it's odd overlap. I don't know, just keep it in mind. So here, Zipporah drops out. Clearly something happened there in the original narrative that has not been communicated in the tradition we have, either effectively or completely or comprehensively in a clear manner. Okay. And it's now that God says to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. So it isn't really clear, the sequence of events here is completely unclear and rather confused. So Aaron speaks for Moses here, and he performs the signs. That's the end of chapter 5. He performed the signs, line 31. Chapter 5, Moses and Aaron go to Pharaoh. Let's watch this now. And by the way, Pharaoh's around here, but he would have been 450 miles away from what I can tell from the situation. So maybe this isn't really Pharaoh, but he's presented as Pharaoh. Let my people go, so we can keep a feast in the wilderness to honor me. Who is Yahweh, Pharaoh says, that I should listen to him? I know nothing of Yahweh. I will not let Israel go. The God of the Hebrews has come to us, they replied. Give us leave to go. Now they're both speaking here. The king of Egypt said, Moses and Aaron, what do you mean by taking these people away from their work? Get back to your work. And there were a lot of them. And so we have all this about the foreman doubling the produce and the bricks and so on, and people having to work harder because of all this trouble. And that's what always happens in revolutionary situations, of course. And line 20, 21, you have made us hated by Pharaoh and put a sword into their hand to kill us. And Moses turns to Yahweh and says, look, you've got to help me. People are being treated harshly, and that's all that's happened. Okay, I'm going to show you my power, God says. Chapter 6, verse 1. Another appearance. I am Yahweh. To Abraham, Isaac, I was El Shaddai. There's that El Shaddai, powerful God, and so on and so forth. You can read this yourself. Then Yahweh said to Moses, line 10, go to Pharaoh, tell him, let the people of Israel leave. And Moses says to Yahweh face to face, look, they don't listen to me. And then Yahweh spoke to Moses and Aaron, ordered them to go to Pharaoh. Again, it's swinging back and forth. Sometimes it's Moses, sometimes it's Moses and Aaron. It's all spliced together. Can't sort it out, except my only question is, sometimes Moses is able to do it all himself, and other times he isn't. Why? Why do we think he can't always do it all himself? Because the priests don't want him to do it all himself, that's why. The priests want their representative in the process. That's my answer. I may not. Anyway, in the middle of all this, we get a genealogy. And what pops out of the genealogy? Okay, here are the sons of Levi. Notice that the sons of Levi, if you're just a Levitical brother, you're not a real brother, you're just a distant cousin. Because there are several generations, even according to this genealogy, down to Moses. And I'm sure there were probably more than that, if the genealogies are accurate anyway. So that's the problem of saying, Aaron the Levite is coming. Your brother, your tribal brother, Aaron the Levite. I believe that the tradition originally probably did have that in it, but I don't think it's his actual brother. Until we get the genealogies, then it becomes his actual brother. 20. Amram married Yocheved, his aunt, or his cousin, or whatever, who bore him Aaron and Moses. And Amram is another one of these fantastic genealogies. So now we know his mother's name and his father's name, and that his brother was Aaron. So we don't know it here till chapter 6:20. This is a different tradition. That's a priestly genealogy, obviously, put in there. Aaron married Elisheva, daughter of Aminadab, 23. And he has Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar. So we don't have Gershon yet, but it's going to come in as one of the tribes. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, here it is, back here. Here's Gershon. Gershon was one of the descendants of Levi. So maybe I've got that a bit mixed up, Gershom and Gershon. But in any case, that is line 16. Gershon is one of the tribes of, one of the descendants, direct descendants of Levi. But he has a son, Eleazar. You see, Eleazar instead of Eliezer. So there's, it's the Eleazar that's the overlap there, not the Gershon. Even though the Gershon is some kind of repetition. Never mind. If you look at that genealogy yourself, I'm moving along. 29. Yahweh spoke to Moses, tell Pharaoh, I am slow of speech. Why should he listen to you? Look, I'm going to make you Pharaoh's God, and your brother to be your prophet. So that goes on. Line 7. Moses was 80, and Aaron was 83 when they went in to see. So the detail man is back in the picture here, who knows all the ages and so on. We didn't hear that originally. Anyway, in line 11, Aaron threw down the staff and it turned into a serpent. And then the magicians of the Pharaoh, line 12, throw down their staffs.